Hello, Amanda. I want to play a game.
Hey horror freaks, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda. As you can see from the title, today's video is going to be a list of horror movies to watch during Father's Day. I decided to do this list because I am a believer that horror can work for basically any holiday at this point. So I thought it would be fun to do a list of 10 horror movies that you can enjoy during the weekend and set during Father's Day. The stories work enough to be watched specifically during this weekend. So starting right away the list, I'm starting with The Omen from 1976. This one follows a mysterious death that surrounds an American ambassador. Could the child that he's raising actually be the Antichrist, the devil's own son? This is a horror classic. We have a father that he realizes that his son is the actual Antichrist. And he has to go into his journey of this investigation, and his life goes into shambles. It's a very good film. If you haven't watched it yet, you definitely should. The next one is the Amityville Horror from 1979. This one follows a new leads and their 3 children that move into a large house where a mass murder was committed. They start to experience the strange, unspeakable manifestations which have strong effects on everyone living or visiting the house. I think that by this point it's kind of common knowledge the case of the Amityville house, and the film is based on a book that was written about the family that left on the house after the murders. And that is what the film is about. We have a family, and once again, these aren't films that aren't precisely correlated to Father's Day, but we have a father that he's trying his best to protect his family. He's having his own issues with the house. So that's what this list is all about. The next one is The Shining from 1980. This one follows a family that heads to an isolated hotel for the winter where a sinister presence influences the father into violence, while his psychic son sees horrific foreboding from both past and future. I think that no one would ever want to have a father like Jack Torrance. At the beginning, he's fine, but once he spends too much time in the Overlook Hotel, you'll know how the story ends. The next one, this one is a little bit sad, and is Pet Sematary from 1989. This one follows after tragedy strikes, a grieving father discovers an ancient burial ground behind his home with the power to raise the dead. This is indeed a sad story and also very creepy. Just like others from this list, this one has a remake. If you want to watch that instead, that's your choice. But in these particular cases, I prefer the originals over the remakes. Now, the next one is more of a thriller rather than horror, but definitely has horror elements and is considered by some people as horror, and is Frailty. That this one follows a mysterious man that arrives in an office of an FBI agent and recounts his childhood, how his religious fanatic father received visions telling him to destroy people who were in fact demons. This is a pretty good film. I saw it just a couple years ago. It's probably one of the most recent ones that I have seen from this list. I was actually surprised, and since I'm a fan of Bill Paxton, I like seeing his work. Now the next one is another one that is pretty sad, and is The Mist. This one follows a freak storm that unleashes a species of bloodthirsty creatures on a small town, where a small band of citizens hole up in a supermarket and fight for their lives. We all know that they could have waited just a few more minutes, and that ending could have been so different, but at the same time, the impact that it has is what makes this film good. Being completely honest, I wouldn't change this ending by anything, although it hurts, but I would never change it. Now the next one is The Stepfather from 2009. I actually prefer the remake over the original in this case. Now this one follows Michael Harding that returns home from military school to find his mother Susan happily in love and living with her new boyfriend David. As the two men get to know each other, he becomes more and more suspicious of the man who is always there to help. Now, I saw the remake first. I didn't knew that it was a remake until a couple years later after I saw it. But this is a film that I have watched over and over, and although it's a bad film, I really like it, so that's why I am including it on the list. But once again, if you want to watch the original, that's totally fine, but in this case I prefer the remake. Now the next one is Insidious. This one follows a family that looks to prevent evil spirits from trapping their comatose child in a realm called the Further. This one stars Patrick Wilson. We even had the 5th film in this franchise last year. If you have never watched it, this one is actually pretty good. It's one of my favorites from the 2010s. The first time that I saw it, I remember thinking, God damn, I finally see a good film in a while, because I saw it back when it came out. So I was around 10 or 11, because I don't remember the specific date that it came out. But what I do remember is thinking, damn, this film is actually good. And time has passed and my opinion hasn't really changed. Is this a masterpiece? No, but it's definitely worth watching and I enjoyed it way more than could be expected. The next one is Train to Busan. This one follows while a zombie virus breaks out in South Korea. Passengers struggle to survive on the train from Seoul to Busan. Once again, another sad story and a sad ending. It's a very good film. It surprised me a lot. I wasn't expecting it to be as good, especially when it came out. Zombies were the thing, because a lot of things were coming. Not everything was coming out was good, but this one was a huge surprise. It's one of my favorite Asian horror movies. So this one, if you haven't watched it yet, definitely give it a chance, because this one is worth watching 100%. And to end the list, we have A Quiet Place. This one follows a family that struggles for survival in a world where most humans have been killed by blind but noise-sensitive creatures. They are forced to communicate in sign language to keep the creatures at bay. This one, once again, sad story. It's very sad, but at the same time it's good, it's scary. This one surprised me once again. I wasn't really expecting much of it but when it came out, but I ended up liking it a lot. We had the sequel. We are supposed to have a 3rd film, but we have a prequel that is coming actually on June 28th. So that one is pretty close. But this one is definitely worth watching. If you're planning to watch a prequel and you have never watched this one, I will still suggest you to watch it, because this one worth watching once again 100%. And with this, I end the video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below which one of these films is your favorite, or if you want to add another film to the list. Happy Father's Day, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye.
Game over.